This is Heather.
And Lisa. We did the website
mathisfun.com
for our math resource review. This website is made and maintained by Rod Pierce and was started in April 2000. So this is a broad spectrum math website. Has a really friendly main page, as you can see, and we found it to be really useful for both students and teachers.
For teachers, we can click on the teachers page right off the home page, and it has lots of great ideas to help keep your students entertained. And if we scroll down a little bit farther, there's also coverage for materials that we need to teach. So if we click on Index by Year and Subject, we are brought to this page, which categorizes everything by subject as well as by age groups. And we also have a curriculum section.
So this curriculum is originally based on New York standards, but they altered it to make it more international in scope. So it is a guide only. It does not list the BC standards, unfortunately. But the website is really easily navigable. The topics are really clearly laid out, so it would be really easy to find what we needed for the BC prescribed learning outcomes.
Then we also have a forum, which you can find from the main page, and the link is in other spots as well, but Math is Fun Forum is right there in the corner. And at this forum we have a section for helping students, anyone that has questions that need answering, cool stuff. We also have just good clean jokes, which is pretty cool. There's some really funny ones in there. And there's also a section for teaching math. There's formulas for us and math teaching resources, so this would be really great for us as teachers to use. So, and there's tons of topics, as you can see, that we can look through.
So if you have a math term that you want to know the definition of, but you don't know the definition, you can go up to the top there or click on it in the picture to the dictionary. So say we wanted to know what integer meant. So you click on the I, and then you find integer in the list of words. So you can see there are some pictures there, a couple different ways of describing it. They give you some examples of integers. Then at the bottom of the page where it says here's more, so if you click on that link, it takes you to sort of the main lesson area that teaches you about integers, so not just the definition, and expands a little more. So now scrolling to the bottom of this page, you'll find some questions.
So if we click on, let's say, question 2, it'll bring us up to a new website called mathopolis.com, and it has a little quiz for us. So which one of the following is not an integer? We see that the answer is C, 1/2, and tells us that we are right, and it also gives us an explanation as to why we're correct. But let's say we got the answer incorrect, so let's say that we answered this question with A. We are told that C is actually the correct answer, and we're also told why, which is very helpful for students in learning. Also, if you wanted to search a certain topic, there's all these topics on the front page here. So let's say we wanted to know a little bit more about geometry, and we're scrolling through and we're kind of like, oh yeah, I remember this stuff. Keep looking, reading. And let's say we got to Pythagoras theorem and we forgot what that was all about, so we can click on it and it brings us up to this page.
Now, if you already know exactly what you're looking for, there's another option. You can click at the top of the page to the search bar. So let's try typing in Pythagoras here. So type that in, and it comes up with some results. They're sorted by relevance. So you can see the first hit there has 100% relevance, so that's probably the site or the page that we want to go to, and this turns out to be that same page that we got from before. So you can learn all you want to know about Pythagoras here.
And now onto some fun stuff. There's also a section on here for games. So if we clicked on games, if our students were all done their homework and wanted to learn some more, there's lots of options for games and lots of choices. If we went into games 2, there's this cool one called the Broken Calculator. And we've tried it out and it was very informal and a lot of fun. So
yeah, it was great. Good for learning math. So another really good thing about this site is that if you see at the top of the page, you can connect to social media. So for example, if I found a really great page, maybe just the main page, and I wanted to share it with my students or some friends or some colleagues, I can click on that Facebook icon, for example, and then I can share it. So whoever has access to my Facebook page can see this link, and then they can go to that website. So it's pretty handy. Okay, so some positive things about this website as a whole. We've talked about most of them already, but one of the really great things we found while using it is if we go into Google and we try typing a math topic, say unit circle. So Math is Fun website is actually the second hit, so it's really easily accessible. You can find it. I found it really helpful when using this website with my tutoring student. So now another really positive thing is that at the top of the page there's also this big link to IXL. This is a paid math website, so it'd be good if you're an actual employed teacher. It does have BC curricula, provincial curricula at the bottom there, so that is really helpful. Makes up for something that the Math is Fun website does not have.
Some of the negatives to this website, although there are very few, was that it uses Flash, so some of the activities and games wouldn't work on our iPads, but that's okay. And also the fact that it doesn't have BC standards is sort of a negative, but as we said, it's very clearly laid out in categories and topics. Also, the quizzes only have multiple choice questions, which is a little bit of a downfall, but it's still a great way to learn and a great resource.
Alright, so that's about everything. We hope you enjoyed our video and hope you find this website to be very useful in your future.